Having an attorney involved in a real estate transaction gives you a neutral set of eyes from start to finish. So the representation will begin with contract review. And in that phase of the transaction, the attorney is going to review the contract. And if any changes are required during the attorney review period, the attorney will review the contract, prepare an addendum to the contract, incorporate those changes, negotiate those with the other party, and get it binding so it's a term of your final agreement. From there will be an inspection period, and the buyer of a property will usually have a home inspection, a wood-destroying insect inspection, and perhaps a radon inspection. Those reports are generated, they come back to us as the buyer's attorney, and we will review those reports and advise a buyer as to what they're allowed to ask for during the inspection period. If we're representing a seller, we do the opposite. We will review the buyer's request for repairs, take a look at that list, and let our seller know what they're required to do pursuant to the terms of the contract. And we handle those negotiations so that there's a neutral advocate advising our client as to their best options or best remedies under the agreement of sale. From there, we order a title report, and that title report will show the chain of ownership for the property, as well as any liens or encumbrances on that real estate. So it's important to know if there are any encumbrances, any restrictions, or if there are any issues with the chain of title. The next step would be to work with a buyer's mortgage company. Oftentimes the buyer will have conditions that have to be satisfied in order for them to get approved for their mortgage. And we'll work behind the scenes to satisfy all those conditions, to get the loan through underwriting so that the cash is waiting for them at the closing table. The last step of representation is for us to go to the closing table. If we're representing a buyer, we will review with them the mortgage package and all the closing documents, as well as the final HUD-1 settlement statement, which is like the receipt of all the money they're spending to purchase the property. We'll make sure that all the terms are fair and accurate, that there's no money being spent that shouldn't be. And we're also there as an advocate should there be any issues at the pre-settlement inspection. We negotiate those on behalf of the buyer. If we're on the seller's side, it's the opposite again, where we prepare all the closing documents on behalf of our seller, the deed and all conveyance documents, review those with our client, and also review the seller side of the settlement statement to make sure that their interests are well protected.